React.js, we can do the components in two ways. One is the functional components, another one is the class components. So most of our examples will be on the functional component, but I'm still going to give you how a class component will look like. And but this is just only for your information purpose. Otherwise, most of our examples are on the functional components. Okay, let's go and try to create a class component. We'll try to create the same greet component in terms of the class. So far we have created the greet component in a functional style, right? Let me show how we are going to create the same thing in the functional class style. So let me go and create a new file called as greet class.js. So when you want to create the greet class JS, it will be like, okay, create greet component using the class have first name, last name, and data as the props, and display the first name, last name in the U. Okay, this is what we want to achieve. Further, first what we need to do is we need to first declare a class called as greet class. Okay, and this is will be our component. So this should extend the React component. So we have to go and import component from React. React from the component green class. So we talked about what is uh, class component, what is inheritance. Right now, if you see our greet class is extending the component class. Now, whatever the behavior that are there in the class greet component are going to be available for you the in the class component also. I'm trying to do here was I'm trying to create a greet class component. The component is a class defined in the React.js. If you see that the component is a class which is defined in the React.js here. Like if you see that this is the component which is defined in the React.js code. Okay, so now what we are doing, we are going the extending method. Now in React.js, one important thing was it's a class and it should extend the component. And one special thing is it should have a method with name render. Important thing is a React class component should have a method with name render. React class component should have a method with name render. Within the render is the one where you need to return your component HTML. Like it may be like, okay, whatever the JSX you want to render. No, this is, we call it as typically a JSX. I have some sessions on upcoming classes. What do you mean by JSX and what do you mean by virtual DOM? But otherwise in the React JS, a class component should extend the component class, and it should have a render method. In the render method, do whatever the logic you want, and finally return the JSX or the HTML which you want to render as part of the component. So what React.js will like, again, how we can use this one was we can go and say export default class. Okay, this is how I'm trying to do it. Export the default class. And I can go and use in my app.js. And as I said, most of my examples I'll be doing in the app.js. So I want to go and import the greet class. So what I do is I'll just say greet class. Now it's the second one. It will automatically go and put my import statement here. Then if I want to use this component, what I can do is I can just go and greet here. So greet class. So as of now, what I want to do is I don't have any props in the greet class here. So here, see, there is no properties defined here. So that's the reason you are not doing that. But for now, time being, what I do is I just go and specify welcome to class components in React.js. Okay, yeah. Okay, welcome. Okay, what I can do is here, yeah, let me go and try to put this. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. Yes, now I'm going to create Mahesh class, Kumar class, just to indicate that okay, they are coming from the class component. Okay, one important thing what you need to do is inside a class component, okay, pay attention to this line of code. That is that if you see here, what exactly do inside a class component, if you want to access the props, you need to access with a special keyword property called as this. Inside class component, if you want to access the props, you need to access with this dot props. Whereas if it is a functional component, how we are doing, we are directly defining the property called as props to the functional component and we are directly accessing it here. It is exactly same, but in class component, we are going to prefix with the this dot props. And after that, it is same. Like after that, this dot props is nothing but an object. We are using the object destructure text like the first name, last name, and data. And then we are trying to display it over here. That's it. There's no change. So let me repeat. Class component should go and extend the component class. It should have a render method. Then if you want to access the properties, you need to access with this dot properties. After that, everything remains same. The render method should return the JSX that is responsible over there. Okay, now I'll be able to run this example here. So let me go and try to look at our example of right. So this is the one which is rendering as a part of Mahesh class, Kumar class, and all this here. Let me go to inspect and go to the sources. And if I go here, I can go and search for greet class. So in the greet class.js, I'm going to clear this off. Yeah, I can put my what is oh. Okay, now it is showing the error because cannot destructure property address of data as it is undefined. Okay, so it's saying it is not able to extract the address from the data. The reason maybe I have not paused it properly. Is that the case? Oh, I paused it. I have paused data. I paused the employee. I have an address also. Greet class, first name, last name, data. Pass the employee, but why it is giving that error? Oh, address is Bangalore. Okay, fine. It is there, but then why? Okay, maybe for the first time you'd have thrown that error. Okay, let me try to reload. So when you come here, this is your functional component. I'm not interested in the functional component. I'm interested in my class component where I went to my class component code, read class.js. I'm putting a breakpoint here to analyze how exactly it is going to behave. I'm going to click on reload. So now if you see here, your this dot props is going to contain the first name, last name, and data. And you are going to have your first name extracted, last name extracted, and data extracted. And you have the address and salary. Okay.